Okay, it works. Okay, thank you for being here. I cannot really see how many there are there from the side. I could see that it's not really full, but considering that we have 8 tracks, it's probably expectable. Philipp and I know each other since over a year, and we work on the one same project. We are both fascinated by technique, IT architectures, we also find it important how it is applied in real life, but not for the sake of technique. Today we are going to tell you what we learned during our big project that still runs. It's still a journey. We have a little bit more to go there. And who we are, before we go deep into the topics. So my name is Slobodanka. I'm Director of Solution Architecture at SCAYLE. So for those of you who were here in the introduction, I know SCAYLE is the commerce engine, the platform that is behind About You, that was born from the About You online shop. And today we have over 100 different online shops from different companies, so not only About You running on SCAYLE. So we will come later to some more details on SCAYLE, but for now on, I would like to hand over to Philipp.
Good morning. It's really difficult to see here. So, as Slobodanka introduced me, I'm working for the OTTO Group, and very, very short commercial slide here. So, OTTO Group is you probably know OTTO.de, very big online shop in Germany, but OTTO Group is a company group consisting of more than 120 different subsidiaries. Some of them are like Bonprix, MyToys, OTTO.de, and we operate roughly 100 international online shops, and some of them rank among the top 100 shops in Europe. So in total, OTTO Group is the biggest online retailer in Europe for fashion, for toys, for lifestyle products, and furniture, actually. And we have a project we started roughly two and a half years ago, making a plan to migrate some of these shops to one platform. So actually in the past, there was a far-reaching autonomy that means that most of the subsidiaries and shops and companies, group companies, have their own tech stack. So they can decide on which kind of front-end app, back-end logistics, finance system, ERP system, if it's Oracle, if it's SAP, if it's SCAYLE or custom build. So they have a wide variety of tools they were able to use. And we decided to migrate some of them to one certain stack to just lift synergies and also to accelerate the growth and provide a modern tech stack, because it's actually very expensive to have a really state-of-the-art tech stack if you play in such a big league like 200 million euros of sales. So it's a pretty big project. And the first choice is we picked 4 group companies that have some, let's say, 10 million products. It's a quite big team, more than 100 team members working on this migration. And we have roughly 30, actually nearly 40 different tools and systems like shipment building, return handling tools, a finance system, recommendation engines, personalization engine. So a lot of different tools that make up our entire e-commerce stack that will be migrated during this project. And on the lower left side, you see some logos of shops that we actually migrate within this project. So where do you come from? A high degree of autonomy, which is actually for a reason. So it's not SCAYLE, it's really for a reason. You are very fast and you can make your own decisions. But it's, as I said, very expensive to maintain 80 or 70 or 800 different technical tech stacks for your e-commerce environment. So you want to lift synergies and still do not lose speed. So our objective is we create a common unified tech stack, which is state-of-the-art, future-proof, and still supports customizations, because you don't want to have a shop like MyToys or Bauer look the same and have the same features that they have. It's a different approach selling furniture than selling toys. So We are not explaining the entire project here, but just wanted to pick 3 roughly main pillars that build the foundation for a successful project that can be transferred to any kind of, or most kinds of complex migration project here. So the one is you have to have, or you should have, a vision and share it. So this sounds like a commonplace, but it's really profound for us, because given the size of our project and the project team, it's like we have in total roughly 180 people involved in this project. So it's not only developers and architects, business owners, it's different stakeholders, sponsors, CFOs, CTOs of group companies. It's quite big. So every successful company, the best companies, have really compelling visions and people, employees, who buy into this vision. And this vision should be very ambitious and hard to achieve, so they really strive to achieve this goal with an intrinsic motivation to go, let's say, the extra mile, achieving this very ambitious and attractive goal. And this is how really successful big companies run. You cannot micromanage hundreds of people and push them to excel. They really intrinsically want, or have to want, to achieve this goal. And given the size of our project, our project team is itself bigger than 95% of most of the companies in Germany. So most companies are really far smaller than our project. So it's very difficult, or nearly impossible, to reach such an ambitious goal and have dozens of teams working on 40 different products and tools simultaneously, and micromanagement push it, because you have to do this agile. You have to create a working environment where you find the best people who are autonomously reaching their own goals. So this is why it's important to have this vision. If you have a very small migration project and upgrade a database version from version 5 to 6, it's simple. You do one-page script and direct someone who just does it. Creating such a new environment, from front-end to back-end to logistics to finance, from really complex business intelligence platform, you cannot script it. You cannot do a micromanaged waterfall project. It would take years. And if you are finished, everything is outdated again. So this is why we try to have a really compelling vision and find people who buy in this vision and try to achieve it. The next thing is before looking to technology, we have to focus on the people and organization, because the biggest hurdles we encounter during this project is not technology. Technology is rather easy. It's very simple to solve. It's feasible. The organization part, the people part, this is the really hard part. So we have to look at all the stakeholders in our project. So for us, we have on top the actual customer. This is the people we have to focus mostly on. So we have to be customer-centric. We have to create an environment or a shop solution that is really state-of-the-art and that people want to buy and use it. So this is our main focus. We have, of course, we have sponsors like a board or shareholders. They're actually paying for the stuff we are building. We have to convince them, to inform them again and again and again. So there will be obstacles. We have drawbacks. We will miss timelines. There will be impatient. So we have to keep them happy, inform them of the progress. Actually, on the bottom, we have this delivery team, the developers who are building the stuff we want to have live next year or maybe in 3 years. And they have to be very actively involved and follow our goals. Last but not least, business owners. These are the people that use our software. So these business owners, marketing managers that used to use their current technology and will have a new technology after we succeeded. And this is also a very important focus group that we care a lot about, because people are usually reluctant to change. So if you look at see the other picture of the stakeholders, and guess them hundreds of people who are just sitting and waiting and say, yes, happy, we are looking forward to a new tech stack, a new shop, and I'm keen on learning new tools. It's not the way the world works. Most of the people don't want change. So there are marketing managers who are super professional, working for 5 years, but let's say Salesforce, sales professional, know everything. After our migration, they will turn from a senior to junior because there's a new tool and they don't know. And the first impulse is not, yay, happy, I can learn a new tool. The first impulse is usually, that's bad, I will lose all my knowledge. My knowledge is worth nothing tomorrow. I will maybe lose my job, maybe whatever happens. But so the status quo is in question, will change, and it's probably not good. So there's a lot I risk, I can lose, but not a lot I can win. So therefore, many people, it's just one of the many reasons people just resist change, and we have to approach it and address it and try to find a strategy how to motivate people to actively support our change. And so one thing we do in change management is we make a category or categories of people, and all the stakeholders, people, whoever is involved in our change. We try to find out if they're positive or negative towards a project. Are they active or passive? So we want everybody to have them in the upper right green box. These are the people who are actually pushing our project. But in reality, this box is the smallest box. So there are many people under the surface who say, yeah, I think the change in the project is good or bad, but I don't actively do anything because I have my job to do. So I cannot or don't want to support it. You still always have active resistors who really talk against your project and work against your project. This is very dangerous. You have to identify these people and try to turn them and convince them or remove them, because they try to pull people over on their side. And of course, under the surface, the passive people, you have to motivate them and give them a personal benefit they can reach through the project. So making a higher EBIT for the company doesn't motivate any developer. But maybe improving your CV because you switch from a very old PHP Symfony framework to, don't know, Go or Node.js and go from on-premise to a cloud-native application and learn CI/CD improves their CV. It's a learning curve, but after succeeding, they have much more chance on the job market or get better payment or whatever. But actually, you try to find a personal benefit for the people involved in the project, and then move as many people as possible in this wide upper box to have active supporters. And when we have staffed our team, we have to organize a team. So how do we do this? We try to use and follow a domain-driven approach. So we have the first goal we have is we have to create business value. So we're not developing software. We want to focus on business needs, and the software, the tools are just a tool. So it's not important to write code. It's important to support our business. So this must be a primary objective. Also the architecture. We can't start nitty-gritty with little details. We have to start high-level architecture, and then drill down to the details of how we can connect our various systems. And of course, the business domain is very important to get people together that are really subject matter expert of a certain area. If it's CRM, if it's SEO, or it's finance or logistics, whatever. But you have to or want to have very, very specialized cross-functional teams that are autonomous and can make their own decisions fast in order to achieve these very ambitious goals we have. Last but not least, talking about technology. From the beginning of the project, we don't go very deep into technology. We don't say you have to use Node.js version X, Y, Z, and this server and this. We start with a very high-level approach of principles and values. So most companies have values that describe how they want to interact with people. So be kind to people, be inclusive. We also have values and principles how we want to interact with technology. And these are very high-level values. So one, as I said, is tech follows business. No? We don't want to write code. We want to support our business. We want to move fast, fail fast. We don't want to work 1 year before finding out that the solution is not viable. We want to fail as early as possible and be very fast to try things out. We want to decide based on data and not guts feeling. So we measure, we prove. We're not just guessing. We support full ownership responsibility. DevOps, I build it, I own it, I run it. Also, the more technical principles like non-blocking communication. We don't say you have to use PubSub or Kafka or SNS. but we say you should decouple your systems. You have to, or you should use event-driven architecture because it's scalable, it's robust, and we want to have stable, secure, and secure systems. And of course, we want to use microservices and ideally develop cloud native. So it's not a must, but it's a principle we try to follow, and this helps us on a daily business in decision making. And usually we don't go deeper than this on our high-level approach, and the teams are autonomous and make their own decisions. It's like when you compare the size, we are aiming. So it's like for e-commerce and the size, like we have roughly 2 billion euros. We are euros turnover. We migrate in this platform 2 billion a year. It's like Champions League or Formula One. And if you want to have a Formula One high-performance team, you're not hiring a driver and telling him to turn left and right and brake and accelerate. You're trying to find the best driver and just share this vision. We want to be very fast. You want to have the best engineers building the best engines. And don't explain them how the diameter is of any details on the engine. So you trust them to build the fastest engine, the fastest car, the best driver, and find the perfect way through the course. What we're just doing is we have guardrails, so we don't call it guidelines, but guardrails. Guardrails are not an autopilot. They're just the outer limits, because the driver itself, the team, has to find the perfect way through the course. We just prevent him to just fall off the cliff if he's not driving correctly. But they're really wide-ranged guardrails, and this is basically how high-performance teams work, how very effective successful companies work or Formula One teams work. Get the best people, give them rough guardrails, share a vision, and let them achieve this goal, and just create the environment where they can excel and fulfill this goal. And with this very rough principle and guidelines about the technology, I would actually hand over to Slobodanka, where SCAYLE comes into the game, and with this burden of very high objectives.
Thank you, Philipp. So Philipp talked now the last minutes. I'm trying to move some of the lights, but anyway. So he talked about the organization. How important it is for a big project to have a vision and mission and to organize the system. I don't know if you saw, but on one of his slides, it was mentioned the convolo that says that when organizations make systems, the systems follow the communication ways that the teams have. So now having multiple systems, multiple teams, because of the domain-driven design that we decided to follow, and having these guide rails, there's still the possibility that something goes wrong because there are so many teams, each building one team, so we need to kind of orchestrate that, and we need to also from a technical perspective to put some frames on these systems. So considering that, considering the organization, and considering also how many different shops and different companies we have, and all our different shops and companies, they have different target groups from customers' perspective because they sell different stuff. They have different processes because, as Philipp mentioned, they were in the past very autonomous, and they could select their whole tech stack. So most of them have their own tech stack. Sometimes they have monolithic architectures. Most of them have moved to headless architecture. So-called headless commerce in this case, which was developed by many online shops at some point of time in order to provide the best user experience, because having abstracted front end from back end, you can still keep your back end functionality as fixed, but have great different front ends, put more content for the end customers. So, but now we have 4 companies, so about 12 shops currently that we're migrating, and they all bring a lot of cool stuff with them. So we don't want really to replace everything. They have good processes that we want to keep, but also to standardize them. So like really take the best of breed from their experience, but also take the best of breed of all the other experiences outside. Now, as we at SCAYLE, we have over 100 online shops, so we bring also some good ideas with us, and there are many other expert systems, third-party systems in the online area, in the online shopping area, where that bring a lot of great expertise. So you see there some just a selection of important systems, so like CRM or CMS to provide good content, but also payment providers. So we don't want to implement that every time for every shop, so we can integrate with those that do it anyway the best. So that means so from all the organization and different teams, we want to build kind of a composable system. The goal is that this system will provide us possibilities to streamline all the standard processes, but still allow the different companies to keep their specialities, so because they get their competitive advantage from that. So that means we have a lot of standard stuff, but we can still have per company a lot of specific implementations of functions, of different product models, different processes for fulfillment, logistic, show off their products in a different way, different content. We also want to interconnect these different shops between themselves, and we should never forget there is always existing software that we need to integrate as well. So that means keeping in mind that we want to do domain-driven design, we want to have the best of breed. We need a composable platform. So we need a platform that will support us, that will give us a good base of stable commercial engine functionality, but also give us the opportunity to extend it and do a lot of different things for different shops, but still stay on the same platform. I said at the beginning, I come from SCAYLE, so of course this is SCAYLE. So is SCAYLE the perfect platform? Probably not, but it is the perfect engine. No, it's not the perfect online shop, but it's a perfect engine. It gives you really the base, the great base to build online shops. So it has modern architecture, so we support composable, so everything so we can do the best of breed that we wanted. It's headless, so we can connect many different front ends and integrated with content management system. It's API driven, so we can integrate with many other third-party systems, cloud native. And what is very cool, we bring with us a lot of business functionality. So we learned from About You over many years what online shops need. So we can test it there, we can try it, we can test it, we can prove it, and then we can use it and give it to all our other customers. So we bring a lot of business functionality, but we bring also non-functional things. So we can we have great performance, we can do a lot of load, and we take care. Now it's SaaS solution, so we can do all the possible monitorings, operations, scaling, whatever is needed. Right after this talk at 11 in Keynote 3, there will be a little bit more detail about our SaaS, our becoming a SaaS engine from by René Dalok. So who wants to hear more details there, because I don't want to go into details on that part here. What I want to say, we are innovative. We learn from About You, but we learn also from over 100 other online shops that use our engine, and we let them also benefit from our out-of-the-box features, also, but especially integrated with their individual particularities, because that's really cool. You don't want to have it the standard way for everybody. Everybody wants their special shop experience, all our shops, and we offer that from a technical perspective, like SCAYLE, but we also support them. So we bring our know-how, our teams, and we help to integrate it, and that's what we do with OTTO together. We work together on the integration and putting the systems together. So how does this happen? So as I said, we bring a lot of cool out of the box functionality, and what we do, we bring a lot of interfaces. I mentioned before, API driven. So we have the possibility to integrate with with a lot of third-party software, so the best of breed that you can choose, but also with individual software, so custom built, whatever is needed to tailor the platform to the needs of the client. Our out-of-the-box functionalities are mostly very configurable, so we offer good product catalogs and checkouts, and this is all configurable, localizable in different languages, directly usable in many countries, but we can also integrate and add other functionality as needed. And to show you here just a small part of all our systems, so you can see we have really a lot of them. But you can see also at the bottom part, we have a lot of out-of-the-box integrations that we bring as part of the system, as part of the platform. This is especially in the area of specific payment providers for every country that in Europe, and every payment service provider, you know, there we have integration, but also in the area of carriers, gift cards, and so. So we bring already a lot of integrations that can be configured with us. We have the possibility, as I mentioned before, to take the best standard processes and put them in common integration. So in our case, all the shops from OTTO that will go on our platform can use on many places the same processes, the same infrastructure, the same the data models, but we can also provide a lot of specialities for the group companies in order to support their business needs. This kind of architecture gives us the possibility to be agile, because we are very modular, so we can be agile. It gives the flexibility for the make and buy decision. That's usually one of the hardest decisions once digital transformations happen. What should I do? So here we don't have to decide on the whole system or big parts of the system. We can decide very on a modular level, so we can make a mix of existing and individual components. We have high independence of vendors because it is very easy with the composable architecture to exchange components. So if they fit, they stay. If they don't fit, we can exchange them. Or many of them are anyway configurable, extendable, so we can do that as well. The way this structure is there, so going back now to the organizational part that Philipp was talking about, the way these modules are built, we support the domain-driven design because we have different teams who can take care of their different domain areas where their expertise is anyway, and as such, we only need centrally to do the orchestration, and as such, we can support better leadership. And it is important that we are hand-in-hand aligned, organization and tech. Nothing in this world comes without both pros and cons, and composable is also not an exception. So as good as it sounds, there are definitely some problems, and that is one of the biggest disadvantage is that we have a lot of components. They have different vendors. We need to first select them, maintain them, operate them. There is governance overhead, additional costs because of that. People need to gain special skill sets. So this is a disadvantage that we try to mitigate on our side. Now, because of the big size that we have of the project, we have the possibility to mitigate because the advantages that we receive from that, especially from the best of breed using everywhere, are surpassing the overhead. The domain-driven design provides us structures which support minimizing some of these possible problems. And platforms like SCAYLE bring capabilities to minimize also the overhead because of already existing structures and technical capabilities in order to manage some of the overhead, especially considering monitoring or connecting these different components. So this was kind of a little bit of wrap up, not domain-driven design, best of breed, and why SCAYLE for the technical part. All together, we are still on our journey to migrate all these great and cool online shops from OTTO. We are on a good way, and we learned what was good. We learned also from some things that we made at the beginning not so good, and we wanted to give it to you. And we think it is very important to have a vision and also to share it with the team, to focus on the people and organization, especially for large projects and long-lasting. This is very important. And ensure that the organization and technology are hand in hand. And for us, it works with a composable architecture supported by SCAYLE for something else. That would be our takeaway. We hope we could bring you also something to take with you. As just a kind of a small goodbye, we hope that you take it with you and that you will ask yourself a question in your organization or in the project where you are. Do you also have a compelling vision that you share with everybody? Do you have the right change management strategy, what Philipp explained a lot in details? Are your teams inspired, empowered, and does your architecture and processes follow your team and organization? And then I thank you very much that you were here listening to us, and we look forward to stay in touch. We are here now for some questions also the next 2 days, or you can reach us, for example, per LinkedIn. Thank you.
Super.